Hey everyone, me again. If you're new around here, my name's Alice and I make videos all about affordable beauty and fashion. It feels really weird to be making a March favourites video because obviously March was the month where the universe basically imploded. But I'm trying to keep things as normal as possible over here on my channel and just offer a bit of light relief, a bit of a distraction. So I'm going to talk about a few products that I really loved over March before everything kicked off. As always, I'm going to start with makeup. I feel like I change my primer every single time I film a favourites video, but that's just because my skin has been having such a rough year, just like me. At the moment I've been having quite a few problems with texture especially, so I had a little rummage from my drawer and I dug out the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser Primer. This is something that I used to love a few years back, but I just haven't been using it for a while because I really fell in love with using oil primers and having really dewy, slippy kind of skin, which I still love, but most of the time these days when I am doing a full face of makeup, it's because I want to film a video, and having like really overly dewy skin isn't ideal under my studio lights. So this kind of just helps to take down the shine a bit down the center of my face, and it's really been helping with texture on areas like my forehead as well. So yeah, it's a really nice all-rounder. It's a drugstore product, fairly inexpensive, and a little goes a very long way. If you do want to see it in action, I've just used this in a get ready with me video. That should have been the video before this one. I think all my makeup favorites I actually made an effort to use in that video so that you can see them in action, so go and check that out if you want to have a closer look at this or any of the products I'm going to talk about. Along that same wavelength as primer, I have really fallen in love with doing my makeup in a particular way over the last few weeks. So I'm holding up the Revolution powder foundation in the shade F2, which I've mentioned thousands of times on this channel by now. This was even in my 2019 drugstore makeup favorites, but I'm shouting it out again this month because I've started using it to set my green colour corrector after I put my primer on, and I'm doing that before I put on my foundation. I never thought that I would use powder before foundation just because I have super dry skin. However, it's just something that I've seen a few people do recently when I've been watching videos. I've been watching a lot of Jackie Aina recently and she does it. I've been watching Robert Welsh and he mentions this technique as well. So I really wanted to give it a go. I found that this was a really good powder to do that with because it's quite mattifying, so it helps take down any shine left over by the primer, but also because it does have a bit of a tint to it, it does really help you to use less foundation, and I get more coverage out of the foundation that I do put down as well. So I've really been loving that technique. That again is something that I did in my recent Get Ready With Me video. And yeah, I don't really switch up my makeup a lot. I'm definitely not switching up the products very often, but every now and again it's really nice to try a different technique. Even if you don't think it's going to suit you, sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised, as I was. I've also been loving two Super Shock shadows from Colourpop, and I've been using these as eyeshadow toppers. So I don't wear eyeshadow a lot, I'm not going to lie to you, especially because my skin is so utterly shit at the moment. It takes me so long to get that right, so I don't always bother with eyeshadow, just so we're being completely honest with each other. But when I do, and I use a shimmer shade of the lid, I really love using one of these over the top of it just to add a bit of extra glitter, a bit of extra sparkle. So these are two Super Shock shadows. This one is in the shade Frog, which I've been reaching for quite a lot. I've really been falling back in love with like mauve and cool tones. I say it like I ever stopped using cool tones in the first place, which I definitely didn't. But yeah, this is a really beautiful cool toned pink with lots of blue glitter and reflect. It's so pretty. And this one is Ladybird, which is a much lighter shade. I've definitely mentioned this one before. I really went for a phase of using this a lot last summer when I bought it, but you can see it's a really bright champagne colour. Both of these look absolutely stunning over the lid, over the top of a nice shimmery eyeshadow. Like I said, they just add a bit more glitter, a bit more sparkle, and it makes the eyes look wet. I've got the shade Frog all over the lid today, and I've got Ladybird in the inner corner. I feel like it just really finishes off the look, but with zero effort. It's not like using a glitter where you have to get a glitter glue and faff about. It's just so much easier. You can just chuck it on with your finger and you're done. I've also really been loving the H&M blush in the shade Cameo Pink. This is something I got a really long time ago. I think I got this at the beginning of last year and it's kind of been sat in my drawer because for a really long time I've just been preferring blushes with a bit more glow, a bit more sheen to them. However, because I've had so much skin texture recently, and especially trying that powder technique, I've been avoiding a lot of highlighters, I've been avoiding a lot of shimmery cheek products. So this has been really nice. I absolutely love the colour. It's a really beautiful cool toned pink. You can see it is very, very, very cool toned. I really, really love this. It's a really nice formula as well. It's not too pigmented. It's one that you kind of build up a bit. And I really like formulas like that because it stops me going really, really overboard and looking like a clown. Yeah, it's just such a pretty, perfect mauve colour. I really like it. I know I like mauve all year round, but I feel like especially this month, I've really, really been going for it. Speaking of like pinks and mauves, I've also really been loving this lip gloss from My Heart Revolution. This is the Chocolate Brownie lip gloss. First of all, it smells incredible. It does have a very chocolatey, fudgy scent to it. I absolutely love it. It makes me so hungry. It's a gorgeous pink shade with just the right amount of brown to it. I really, really like wearing this. So I put this on in my Get Ready With Me as well, and I wore this with the Rimmel Exaggerate lip liner in East End Snob, which really, really works well with this because this is quite a nice mid-toned pink colour. And I'm also wearing it in this video as well. In my time, I've just finished filming the Get Ready With Me, so I had a bit of a tea break in between filming videos, and before I reapplied it this time, I put down the Revolution lipstick in Chauffeur, which is a really nice nude colour with a little bit of brown, and I just feel like that's kind of warmed it up just a smidge. And yeah, this is a really nice combination as well. Or you can just wear the lip gloss on its own, obviously, but I feel like whatever I pair this with, this lip gloss just looks really, really pretty. It's such a nice colour. And then my last makeup favourite is from Lottie London. I don't try a lot of Lottie London products, especially now that they're not in Superdrug anymore, but I heard a few people on YouTube talking about this. I think I heard Alex from I Covet Thee and also Stephanie Toms mention this. I love both their channels, but this is their freckle tint. It's a dupe of a very overpriced product called Freck that you basically use to just draw freckles on your face. So it looks like a little eyeliner when you open it. It's a very warm colour, so you can see it really does look like a freckle tone. It's like a bit orangey, a bit brown. And I know that some of you will think this is a weird product for me to like because I have natural freckles anyway, but because I wear full coverage foundation a lot of the time to cover my skin redness, I find that my freckles kind of get hidden by my makeup, which is a real shame. Even though I try to sheer it out in that area, like under my eyes where most of my freckles are, I still find that a lot of them can get covered up. So I've started using this quite a lot. I'm still getting the hang of it. There's times where I do this really well and it looks really natural, and there's times when I don't and it looks really, really obvious that I've got fake freckles. I find the trick is to just keep blending it. Even if you have to go back in with your foundation sponge over the top of it to soften it down, blending is the answer. I would recommend practicing with it a few times. Once you get the hang of it, you can get some really, really beautiful results. So I've got some skincare and body care favourites here. They're both basically really, really plain moisturisers. I have really sensitive skin, as I've mentioned a few times on this channel, and these are basically no frills moisturisers. So I use this one on my face and this one on my hands. So I'll talk about this one first. This is from La Roche-Posay. This is the B5 Soothing Repair Balm. This is quite popular in the blogging world, so you might have already heard of this, but I just want to sing its praises here as well. This is not my first bottle. I've been using it for a while now. Most of the time I use this in the morning and then I put my SPF on top. At the moment I'm just using this day and night because my skin has just got so stressed out even before everything kicked off this month. But this is a really nice product. I wouldn't say it's a miracle cure by any means, it's not for me anyway, but it does stop my skin from getting worse and it stops it from being as reactive. It definitely helps if you have itchiness related to your sensitive skin. It really helps with that. So I use this on my face. You can use this on your body as well, but I prefer not to because this is quite pricey. This is 13 or 14 pounds, which I know is quite steep, especially for me because this is an affordable channel, but for me it's the only thing that's working on my face, so I kind of have to bite the bullet and just go along with it. But I have been needing a bit of extra moisture on my hands as well at the moment, so I've been using this product from Superdrug. This is their dry skin lotion. Obviously I was washing my hands before everything happened this month, but I wasn't washing them for 20 seconds. I'm sure most of you weren't. So my hands are getting a bit drier now. And this has been really, really helpful. So every time I wash my hands, I just put a little bit of lotion on afterwards because they are getting a little bit red, you might be able to see. So this is really nice for that. This is really cheap as well. It's about £3.50 for this massive bottle. This is 400ml. So this is much more cost effective if you need something for your hands, for your body. And then I can save the La Roche-Posay, the expensive stuff, just for my face. I've got a couple of fashion favourites as well. The first is from ASOS. It's this really, really pretty little card holder. So I was with my friend Mariam, I think it was about 2 months ago. I met up with her in town and I was saying to her how I envied how she always took out the smallest of handbags with her. Like, her handbags are literally about this big. And I'm just like, how do you fit all your crap in that tiny, tiny bag? And she said one of the key things she did was have a really, really small purse. So usually she would just take a card holder out with her. And I just thought that was a really good idea. I love small handbags. I've got a few of them, but usually it's quite hard to fit anything after I've put my purse in. So I got this from ASOS. I think this was £8. It's a really nice design. It's this leopard print, and then you've got space for 6 cards, so there's 3 slots here and then there's 3 on the back. And there's also this little zip compartment that you can fit notes and coins in as well. Anyway, this is really nice. There's also a couple of pieces from my recent H&M haul that I've really, really been loving and getting a lot of use out of already. First is this pink cardigan. I'll show a cutaway of me trying it on so that you can see what it looks like. But this is such a lovely colour, first of all. I really like it. It's really nice for this time of year. Also, it's really, really comfortable as well. It keeps me warm and it's got some nice pockets at the front here, which are pretty much essential for any cardigan or jacket that I'm going to wear. And yeah, it's just really comfortable, but because of the colour, it just looks a bit more stylish than a lot of the other cardigans I own. So it does make me look like I've put in about 5% more effort than I actually have. And then the other thing I've really been loving from that haul are the grey joggers, which I can't hold up because I'm actually wearing them right now as I'm filming this, but I'll feature a cutaway. So they don't look like much, they're just your average joggers in a nice dark grey colour, but they're so comfortable and they're so lightweight. They're a lot lighter than other jogging bottoms and tracksuit trousers I own. So they've really been ideal for this time of year because we're finally getting away from it being really, really cold here in the UK. So these have just been really nice, just for days in the house, for walking the dog, for loungewear. And I know that I'm obviously going to be wearing a lot more loungewear at the moment. So yeah, I've really been liking these. So those are all the products I wanted to chat about today, but because I know a lot of people are going to be self-isolating and social distancing, I also wanted to give a shout out to some YouTubers that I've been watching recently and really enjoying, and I also wanted to mention some Netflix favourites. So let's start with the YouTubers. First of all, there's Robert Welsh, who I think I mentioned earlier in the video, but I've really, really been enjoying his content recently. I think quite a few people have only just discovered him. He seems to have gone from 100,000 subscribers to 300,000 in a very short space of time, so I feel like this is his moment. But yeah, he's a really interesting and informative YouTuber. You guys know that I have a passion for makeup. I love talking about it and I love trying new products, but I'm not a qualified makeup artist. I've never had any training. Everything I know about makeup I've learned from YouTube, and I feel like I watched quite a lot of those videos a few years ago and I learned to do my makeup how I like it, and then I kind of stopped learning. Even though I watch a lot of makeup videos, I'm not really learning any new techniques at the moment. I'm just watching it as more of like an entertainment kind of thing, which is still great, but I haven't really like brushed up my knowledge for a while. So watching Robert has been really informative and really been helping me just kind of learn a few techniques. And then I saw on one of his videos that he was reacting to Jackie Aina doing her makeup, and then I started watching her videos as well, so I want to give her a massive shout out too. Not that she needs it, she's got millions of subscribers. I don't know how I've never watched any of her videos before, if I'm honest. I knew who she was, and I knew that she'd released that palette with ABH last year, so I don't know how I've never watched any of her videos before. I'm not very cool. I don't really keep up with a lot of like the really big popular channels, but she is hilarious. Like, she's not just really talented and really good at makeup and also very educational like Robert, but she's so funny. Her videos really lift my mood, and I feel like we could all use something like that right now. So I really love her. And I'll also shout out another two YouTubers who I didn't discover this month. I've actually been following both of them for a while, but I find that I've been watching their content quite a lot this month especially, because I just know that I'm going to enjoy them. So first is Abby Williamson. She does the best anti-haul videos. She is savage and I love it. She is so salty. She says things that a lot of people, me included, would be too nervous to say on YouTube. And there's also Stephanie Toms, who I've definitely mentioned her before. I've been watching her for, it feels like a year. It could well be longer than that, but I've been watching her for a really long time. She's funny, she's really chilled out. It feels like you're just having a chat with your friend about makeup. She's just very casual and kind of says it how it is, which I really like. So yeah, she's someone who I've been watching for a really long time, as I said. But this month especially, whenever I get a notification that she's uploaded, I click on it straight away. You know when you have a YouTuber who you love so much that if you're watching another video but then you get a notification that they've uploaded, you'll leave that video and go and watch their video that they've just uploaded? That's who Steph Toms is for me. And then I thought I'd share some Netflix favourites as well. I feel like most people either have a Netflix account or they have a profile on someone else's Netflix account. I just feel like most people probably have access to Netflix, so I thought I'd share a few things that I've been loving. They're all TV series. The first one is I Am Not Okay With This, which I loved. I binge watched this in one night. It's so beautifully filmed, and I knew right from the first shot that I was going to really enjoy watching this. If you don't know, I have a master's degree in photography and I do freelance photography and videography as well. So I really appreciate when something is really beautifully filmed, and I just loved watching this because every shot is just so well done. Not just because of that, it's also really funny. The main character, Sydney, is 17 years old and she really reminds me of me when I was 17 years old. She's sarcastic, she's brutal, she's quite depressed, you know, it just really reminds me of who I was back then. It's so funny. I'm not going to go too into the plot because I don't want to give any spoilers. I think it's best that you just go into it not really knowing what to expect, but just trust me, it's really good, you'll love it. There's another series called The Stranger as well. It's a thriller. It has a lot of twists and turns in every single episode, so that really kept me watching. Again, I binge watched this pretty quickly. I think I watched all of the episodes in one day, or maybe 2 days. But another little bonus is The Stranger is actually filmed in Manchester. So I'm from Manchester, I've lived here my whole life, and it's really fun to watch The Stranger if you live in this area because there's so many places I recognise when I watch the programme. There's bits of Ancoats and New Islington, there's Stockport Markets. So if you're from Manchester, you're going to have a lot of fun watching this and just recognising all the locations they go to. Like, they've filmed in a cafe that I've been to with my friend. You know, they've filmed on streets that I've walked down, so I loved it from that aspect as well. Again, the actual plot is very captivating and you will get addicted, you will want to know what happens, but also if you are from the north, you'll have a lot of fun recognising all the locations. And then the final series I've been loving this month is Shameless USA. So I actually watched season 1 of this years and years ago, and I don't know why I stopped. I don't know if it just went off Netflix or what happened, but I definitely watched season 1 ages ago and never watched season 2. So this month I've got through the whole of season 2 and I'm partway through season 3 now. There's a lot more to go, so please don't leave any spoilers in the comments because I haven't got that far with it yet. But I just find it really interesting to watch because you might know that Shameless was actually a programme made in the UK first. Now that they've done the US version, they've taken some inspiration from it, but they haven't directly copied it. They've definitely gone on a different direction with some aspects, but they've made it so interesting and it's really well done. It's one of the better UK to US adaptations in my opinion, and like I said, those are on Netflix, so hopefully most of you will be able to watch those. Let me know what you're loving on Netflix and YouTube in the comment section below. I feel like a lot of people are going to really need some recommendations right now. And that's everything from me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. I'm trying my best to keep uploading twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. I really hope you guys are all well and taking care of yourselves. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.